Hello everyone, this is a TTV update video sort of thing. We are making this update for few certain reasons. One, we'd like to bring to attention that we are blocking a certain member from our channel who goes by the name of Brandon Giolini. And I want to address that this is not a normal thing. We usually don't have to block people from the channel. In fact, we've never blocked anyone from the channel. So there are certain circumstances that we feel that we have really no choice but to block this person, and we really don't like doing this because we like everyone to have their own opinions and open minds, but there really isn't a choice in the matter. The guy is interesting. We will go over why we are blocking him,
Yes.
though, because, like I said, it's not a normal thing, and we don't like to do it. So we want to make sure that everyone knows the reason behind it and such.
Bit of what's
So
been
yeah,
going on as of late.
yeah, what's been going on? But to do this, I need to explain our most recent series, which is going by the name of Bionicle Autopsy. So I'm going to explain everything about it first of all. Now, Bionicle Autopsy is a series that I decided to do. Basically, what it is I just look at certain things, certain issues that I may see in the Bionicle community, and I will discuss it and voice my opinion on it. It's any issue at all. It's not a specific subject or a specific thing. It's whatever I take notice of and want to address. I want to get that out of the way first. And because of that, and the reason why is because the first episode happened to be about bringing back Bionicle, because I felt that was the strongest subject to talk about and a good way to introduce the series.
Yes.
The second episode is about my opinion on fanboys of Bionicle, people who kind of take things a little too seriously. I need to stress this because so many people are confused. Bionicle Autopsy 1 and Autopsy 2 are completely different videos addressing two different topics.
Mhm.
A lot of people were confused. I guess they thought I was bashing people from the first Autopsy video in the second Autopsy video. That's not what I was doing. I was merely responding to the comments. I think a lot of people missed the line where I was like, before we start this topic, I wish to address a few comments from last week's video.
Yes.
So while I addressed certain comments from the other video, that isn't the main topic for the second Autopsy video.
It kind of segued into the second topic, but they were
I
very
use it as a
different.
segue, but that wasn't the actual topic. Now, there these two differences are important because the ending of Bionicle, the very first Autopsy video, I made this about my opinion on why it wouldn't be a good idea to bring it back, and if it were to be brought back, why I don't think it would be nearly as good. These are opinions. That video wasn't meant to bash anyone who thinks that Bionicle should be brought back. It wasn't a smear towards iBionicle. I merely used iBionicle's video as a segue into the topic. iBionicle's opinions on bringing back Bionicle are his opinions alone. I merely use that as an example. A way to get
We
my opinions out.
Yes.
we respect all the opinions that have been put into the video, provided that they are, civil and do not segue off topic or produce wild conspiracy theories and the like. iBionicle's opinion is almost just as valid as ours. It's his own opinion, and we respect that and respect the user himself for what he does. However, that does not, we do not, while we disagree with him, we do not actually mean to insinuate that he is either, a terrible fan or a terrible person in general, or that he's an idiot who's completely misguided. Those things are not what we wanted to convey via Autopsy. Autopsy is not something that we use to bash people that we do not agree with.
Nor is the goal of Bionicle Autopsy to somehow stifle the return of Bionicle in order to hoard all of the Bionicle related attention for ourselves and our Biocraft Chronicles movie project.
Yeah.
as some would have you believe.
Yeah. See, the bring back Bionicle Autopsy is merely exactly what I said. It is just me explaining why I don't think it would be good if it were brought back, or why it shouldn't be brought back. Nowhere in the video am I telling you do not, well, no, do not support the revival of Bionicle. Do
No.
not, uh, do not relinquish all your fandom or your dreams.
Mhm.
Bionicle is evil. It should never be revived. I have not said this at all. I said not to spam Lego because that's annoying to anyone.
And it's not gonna do
Whether it's a
anything.
company or not, spamming anyone is annoying.
Mhm.
That's all I said not to do. I even said you can make the video that iBionicle wanted you to make because that's a good way to remember Bionicle.
Mhm.
I am not forcing anyone to do anything. I am not telling them to do anything. I'm merely stating my opinion on the matter, and I am also saying that spamming people is annoying. Because, come on, it is.
Yes.
Very true.
Next up.
Alongside the fact, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
go. No, you go ahead.
So I wanted to kind of also make we are not trying to create a movement to stop the revival of Bionicle. This is merely just a video explaining the other side of an argument that many people have not really explored before, and backing it up with different trends and different facts that Lego has produced among the years, in order to give informed and thought out argument.
Because
Now you can choose
contrary to
to
popular belief, you can be a fan and not want it to return. The two don't
exactly,
negate each other. There isn't a perfectly viable opposing viewpoint.
Which is exactly why I made the second video.
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Now,
That
once
is that
again,
is our only that's our only purpose here. We do not wish to that's we aren't the instigators of the Killing Bionicle organization.
I need to stress this. Autopsy 2 is not a continuation of Autopsy 1. This is not about bringing back Bionicle anymore. If you want to bring back Bionicle, that's great. Autopsy 2 is not about you. I need to make that very clear. This isn't a smear on anyone. Now, what Autopsy 2 is about are people who disagree with others, basically, like what we just said. It's people who will call you out and say that you are not a true fan for disagreeing with them. That is what Autopsy 2 is about. It's not about anyone who wants to bring back Bionicle. It's not about anyone who has opinions about Bionicle's revival. It has nothing to do with Bionicle's revival. It is about people who can't accept the fact that they disagree with you.
Pretty much.
Exactly. People have been or segmenting the fan base into different kinds of groups because they simply disagree with them. By
Like,
calling someone not a true fan or doing that, you're kind of they're trying to provide the not really the vibe, but trying to belittle the other person's opinions simply because they're in disagreement with their own.
and a perfect example of that is the cause of this video being made.
Yes.
Exactly. Brandon Giulini, I'm sorry if
I
I
think it's
cannot pronounce that
Giolini.
right.
I'm not sure.
Giulini,
Giolini, yes.
perhaps. He has done this. He's been the perfect example of this in our comments and in the reply to our video that he made below. And generally, while we do not mind opinions that are different from ours, he has been not he's been almost spamming our comments with wild accusations and wild theories. And at this point, to keep our comment section clean and enable you to have more civil discussion with other people that have the same or a different opinion, we are blocking him if for this explicit purpose.
Yes. A number of the claims that he has made on both his response video and our comments have been like wildly, I'm not gonna, kind of crazy. Some are slanderous and some just make me, they boggle my mind. There are insinuations that, as I mentioned before, we're trying to stifle the reboot of Bionicle to seize all the attention for ourselves. We've been called everything from a not true Bionicle fan to corrupt authority trying to manipulate their fan base. We've been compared to Lego, who canceled Bionicle in the first place as some kind of evil organization. The list goes on, as I'm sure there will be some comments highlighting this in the video. It has
Oh,
to
yeah.
stop. That's really
I would
it.
I specifically said in every single video that this is just my opinion, so I don't know how we could be trying to manipulate anyone.
also,
In
I would
fact,
like to make it clear at this point, we are not affiliated or a part of Lego in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
We do not get paid by them. We do not we aren't endorsed by them. We have interviewed some freelancer employees that used to work for him, some of the comic artists, and that is as far as it goes. We have no official relation to Lego whatsoever.
At all.
We are just Bionicle fans on YouTube that have our own opinions and our own channel. That is as far as it goes.
yeah, we've never. He's basically gone out of his way to attack us, pretty much. He's created a response video that we haven't approved yet, so no one's probably seen it. But he created a response video to the second autopsy video, basically like attacking me and telling me to face him or whatever.
Another disclaimer.
To the tune of "Face Me" by Cryo Shell.
Another disclaimer
He's
is
like
that the
challenging
Three
me.
Virtues account is a group account. The Three Virtues is not one of us.
Yeah.
It is a group of
Okay,
people.
yeah, okay, I need to make it clear. He's attacking me specifically for my autopsy video, but he's calling me the Three Virtues because he doesn't realize that the Three Virtues isn't a singular person who created autopsy because he didn't actually bother to, do any research at all before attacking us. But,
Yes.
but anyway, yeah, he's basically challenging me. He even put in the description, "I'm prepared to start a flame war for this." And I am just so confused as to why this guy is on our case. I don't know what I said to offend him.
It was not always this way, because LJ, before this happened, you were mixing it up with people in the comments and discussing, debating, having a nice conversation. There were a couple people that were being rather interesting, but at one point he posted, and I think you were the first to reply to him. It was either you or me, and I think he got into it with you a little bit before I jumped in, didn't he?
Wait, me? Yeah, he did. It was annoying.
And back then, he was not. Of course, he disagreed with the video, and of course, he was radical about the whole thing. But he was not insulting us and going crazy. And then I eventually jumped in, and we got into it a little bit in the comments, having a nice discussion. And I slowly noticed him kind of going off the deep end a bit, and he makes claims that we have bashed people for our opinions, but nowhere in the comments, you can look for it, have we bashed someone. I think there was one point Var made a joke to someone, but that does not exactly constitute bashing. We have never spoken to someone and said, "You are awful, your opinion is wrong, get out of here."
That's going to be quoted and spread everywhere.
That constitutes bash.
I did call one opinion naive, but
well, that's one thing. That's not
that
necessarily
opinion naive isn't saying it's wrong.
There's a stark contrast between disagreeing with someone's opinion or even going so far as to say bashing their opinion and bashing them, which is what he is insinuating we have done.
I need to make it very clear. The Autopsy 2 video, nowhere in the video am I insulting anyone. I am not calling anyone any names. I am not saying anyone's opinion is wrong. I am not bashing anyone in particular. You can quote me on this because I know what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I addressed a few comments that were left in Autopsy 1. I said, one, it sounds like he's trying to treat it like a religion, which is what it came off to me. I don't see that as an insult.
Nope.
I see that as slightly frightening to me personally because I don't think, treating toys as a religion is a healthy idea, but hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. I called out someone who apparently who was calling me not a true Bionicle fan. That's what the whole video was about. It was just about people who say that you aren't a true fan for not agreeing with them. And see that I never insulted anyone. I never called anyone not a true fan. So I don't know where this guy is coming up with that I'm bashing Bionicle activist.
Nor do I.
Exactly. Do note though, there are, although wanting Bionicle back, or wanting its revival is not a wrong opinion, but there are some things as like there are a such thing as a wrong opinion. There's that thing does exist, and like although like I said, it's wanting Bionicle back is not one of them. There have been numerous times in the comments and people replied with inaccurate information. One person thought that Greg somehow owned the rights to Bionicle and he didn't want them to continue it, and that was why Lego had to cancel.
Why won't you
Other
listen
people
to me?
thought
Yeah.
other people thought they could just they could buy the franchise from Lego without any repercussions. Those kind of things you just need to
I
be
did say that
aware
idea
of.
made me cringe because
That
it's just
yes,
ridiculous. Like that, you can't do that. Like that's just
it's
something that's completely impossible. It's physically impossible. You don't have the money to buy the rights to Lego and then produce the toys. That's not an
exactly.
opinion. That's just a fact. You
Yes,
might be
there's
rich, but you need a manufacturing company. I mean, it's a waste of money. I'm just saying. And I know I did compare people who whine about Lego canceling Bionicle to like brats whining to their mom to give them a toy. I guess that can be considered an insult.
Perhaps if you were. Well, yeah, I guess maybe.
But at the same time, I'm not referring to Bionicle activists. I'm referring to people who are whining about it.
Yeah. There's a stark difference between the two. You can want Bionicle
yes.
back despite all odds without necessarily being whiny. You can be mature about the situation. There are some that aren't, and that's one thing.
Exactly.
But it is
I'm
possible.
talking to the people who aren't taking this maturely, who get overly offended over things. Which now that I think about it, this guy has gotten very overly offended
Yes.
by this video that wasn't directed towards him or his activist group at all.
And that is a very nice summary, really, of this whole entire situation.
Indeed.
So to recap, the autopsy videos were made for one purpose and one purpose alone, and that was to give opinions. They are not meant to demean people. They never did demean anyone. And if you construed it as such, then that's
Well,
unfortunate.
that's unfortunate because I am telling you now, we're not bashing anyone, we're not insulting anyone. If you took it as an insult, you took it as an insult because it was not directed as an insult or meant to be an insult.
And the idea that
That
the
is all you're
autopsy
doing.
videos are somehow meant to stifle the return of Bionicle to seize the glory for our fan project, to try and usurp any official revival, is preposterous to say the least. We do not go around blocking people from our channel normally. This video has more than proved the just cause behind this. We just wanted to get this out for all of you to see in case this ever becomes an issue. And we want you to know we do not stifle opinions or criticism of our videos if done in a respectable or even, it's okay if someone leaves a disrespectful comment every now and then. We're not going to block you for it. It's only in extreme circumstances like this. That being said, that's about it.
Yes.
You can.
If really, we appreciate opinions and we appreciate discussion. Our entire channel is aimed at discussion. We started off as a podcast.
Yeah.
Discussions are forte.
Mm.
You can be insulting all you want, but if you take it to an extreme, we can't allow you to be here. It's just we're being forced into this. It's not like we want to block this guy from our videos, but
I tried having a civil conversation with him for 4 days. It didn't work. LJ didn't.
yeah, I have tried to
Yeah.
tell him okay, dude, you need to pay attention to the video because you're misunderstanding everything. I have tried. He will not listen to me. So
I find-
there is nothing to do except to block him because there's just no getting through to him.
Well, we got him to find out we're a group. That worked. Thumbs up. Good job.
That was
Make
that was
progress.
great. Yes.
What an
we're-
achievement.
I mean, that just
we
goes to
got
show
one
he
thing
didn't
straight.
even know who he was talking to. First of all, that clearly shows he wasn't paying attention to anything.
Yes. Well, we hope this clarified things for you. And be sure to check out our normal videos, including the next Bionicle Autopsy Wednesday.
It's coming out next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate our fans. We're glad you watch us. We
We
appreciate
hope
all
that you
comments.
continue to have
Mhm.
your civil discussion in the comments without intrusion by certain individuals, as that above.
being offended is not the thing here. So, going to apologize to anyone that was offended by the videos. However, you took it that way. They weren't meant to be like that. However, if you're going to be crazy about it and spam us, then you get no sympathy from me. I'm sorry. Come on
Yep.
now. Let's be civil here.
Mhm.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll
Yeah.
see you next time.
Yep.
All right.
Bye.
Goodbye.